Ky vend ka ekzistuar gjithmonë, nuk ka ajër. Cepat e tij të shtypin. Muret e tij prej ujit janë gjitha një lloj. Përplasem në to dhe nuk zhvendosen asnjë hap.
I am Drian Zeneli. I am based in the planet Earth. I am trying to escape and continues through my art inventions.
Nice to meet you, Drian. We are here in a beautiful building, in a funeral hall in Frankfurt, in the west part of the city, and it's a so-called brutalist building. When we start with that idea of a building made out of concrete, what is your first idea that you, or association that you have with that kind of architecture and buildings?
I born in 83 in Albania and in the Balkans especially. You are surrounded by this architecture, and some of this architecture like the Pyramid of Tirana after the fall of the communism in 81, for many of us as teenagers become a place of playground, place to spend time. No, it's always the interpretation of a strong structure that represents the power of the nations and the state, and at the same time they looks like animals. And it's so fun because in the medieval era the word brutal means also animal, to say to someone that you are like an animal. No, today it's weird to say this, but was compare the attitude of someone who is aggressive to an animal, or to say brutal, you are brutal.
Your father was a professional painter as well, and when he was a painter, he painted the communist
Leader.
propaganda and the leader of the party. Can you tell me a little bit about that influence and how that materialized in your memory and in your work?
At this time, when he used to paint the big portrait of Enver Hoxha, but not even also the Mao Zedong and Stalin and Lenin and other leader of the Soviet Union, communism, doesn't exist the print, the banners, the posters as we use in nowadays, but exists these painters who were commissioned to do a special portrait for them during their manifestations. And my father was engaged for 20 years on that. And let's say my room was a kind of studio of my father and was surrounded by this big, huge portrait that at this point, as the children, it looks they are looking at me in each corner of my room. And it was a bit weird, but I didn't know nothing what was behind this canvas. What is the story behind this canvas? For me, it was just kind of puppets.
If we come back to the brutalist architecture and this topic that is relevant in your last trilogy, there is 3 different buildings that are the center, the core of the film. In your case, I have the feeling that there is an idea of a coexistence between the building, between what surrounds us, which can be like a prison or something very strong, and these little animals, fairy tale kind of creatures.
Yeah. It comes for me so natural to deal with these bodies, with these architectures, and create stories around. My first attraction was by the National Library in Kosovo, in Pristina especially, the capital of Kosovo. And I asked myself how to narrate this architecture.
So there are two protagonists, 2 animals in each of the 3 episodes of the series.
Yeah, like in the classic fairy tale, like La Fontaine fairy tale, for example, there are always 2 characters who have a kind of relation and conflict between each other. And the brutalist architecture in this case is a set of this conflict, but in the same time is the first protagonist in itself, because it's what attracted me at first. And I create this storytelling, the first one, with a group of children. It's about this fish who is trying to escape from the net and from the shark. And in order to escape, he invented the flax, and he can fly. The second one, it's focused in the Pyramid of Tirana that was conceived by the daughter of Enver Hoxha as a mausoleum dedicated to his father. I wanted to create another fairy tale inside this building. And for chance, I saw an Albanian guy who was 21 years in prison. He went out from the prison 3 years ago. He created micro robots like butterflies with all objects that we find in the prison. And I say that it's a perfect to commission to him a new animal, a new insect, that I commissioned him a dragonfly. And the third one was the post office in North Macedonia, in Skopje. I was attracted by this architecture that looked like insect, a big insect and animals. And in 3 cases, what I discovered was that in a certain way, this building shows the continued instability of the Balkans after the Berlin Wall.
Дали ти направив нещо лошо? Абсолютно не, повторно отговорила змията. Па, зошто сакаш да ме јадеш? Затоа што не можам да поднесам да те гледам како блескаш.
After the fall of the communism, this building were not anymore as institution as before, but were changed for different uses. For example, the Pyramid of Tirana. It was a discotheque. It was a cultural center. It was bar, coffee. On the top of the pyramid, it was a private channel. Everything, you know, it looked like a kindergarten because we play around these buildings. I said that this is probably a way how to narrate the continued transitory state of this region.
Maybe you can tell a little bit about this practice, this collaborational practice in your work and maybe beside of your work?
For me, the co-creation of something, it's natural and it's a necessity. I do performance, drawing, but mostly I do films. But I don't work as a classic film director with the storyboards, with a script. When I go in the location, in the set, I don't follow the rules. I have more or less some ideas, and in the locations, we start creating the story, both with the participants, both with a group of people or with 1 or 2 or more that I created. It's more difficult for the production team to follow this attitude, but I totally trust in this way of doing because I believe so much in accidents, in chance, that can give to us more things that we expected before. And I think that through our works, we can learn a lot about our future or our past. We are never in the present.
Yeah.
And that's still make me curious to discover new journeys, new places, new locations, new people.
Hey, thank you very much for this little journey we had. in this nice building, and it was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure, it's mine, always.